All right, Gasper, how are you doing?
I'm good, Gavin. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Where are you?
I'm currently in Fairfax, Virginia.
Now,
If you need
it,
more information, that's where Johnny Depp and Amber Heard had their nice little chit chat over the last few months.
yeah. Have I seen you outside with a few alpacas? Is that you?
No, that was my buddy.
I suppose it's been inescapable there.
Yeah, I mean that's like the county itself is quite dispersed. So if you don't have the purpose of going exactly where the courtroom is, then there's no chance to actually even realize that there's something of that, you know, magnitude happening. So
Magnitude.
yeah,
Uh, what are you doing there? Pleasure or business or?
it's kind of both. I was in Mexico traveling, and then came to the U.S. to just visit some people, and then one thing led to another. I was exploring a business opportunity here in Fairfax. We'll see how that pans out. But it's United States. It's a very exciting country. There's always a lot of things going on. There's always things to research. I use my time here to get in touch with people who are in the same, let's say, business investing. I met in New York. I went to the eToro headquarters, met the team there, met the US CEO. So it was very sort of informative, fun, beautiful people there. They have a beautiful office with a great view over Manhattan. So yeah,
Lulu de Misse?
exactly.
Yeah, very good. And Fairfax or Virginia, is that like CIA country?
Well, I guess so. I mean, there's quite a bit of a spy houses around, especially like, DC area, which is fairly close to here. So I've never heard, portrayed that way. It's CIA country, but I guess it's a historic site. I mean, this is where the first US Constitution was drafted. This is not to say that it was, written here, but I think the first draft was somewhere in Alexandria, which is like maybe 20 minutes a ride from here. So
Yeah, cool. So you've been doing lots of traveling. Last
yeah,
I noticed
indeed.
you were in Dominican Republic.
How do you know that, man? I'm not like publishing my Google Map journey.
Yeah, well, you released a picture of you having lunch with big profits.
Oh, okay. Is that that's the controversy?
Is that controversial?
I don't know. Some people seem to have commented that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you're probably not cut from the same cloth in certain aspects. You seem like
Yeah.
a very very straight up, very honest, very sensitive dude. And he has, at least in some quarters, been accused of perhaps not being those things.
Yeah. Well, look, like I travel everywhere I go, and everywhere I go, try to meet people of similar interests, people that connect with the eToro community, connect with investors. I don't really go, how can I say, snooping around their, online presence, or try to research them thoroughly to try to make an estimate of their character, etc.
No,
I,
clearly
I
not. You
knew
agreed to talk to me again, so you haven't done any research.
just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
And I like to allow people to present themselves in the way they are without me passing on judgments. Like I guess coming back to the Johnny Depp trial, you are basically the presumption of innocence until you are guilty. And with big profits, I actually I was just in Dominican Republic. I found it was interesting to meet a PI. I didn't know anything about what his game is, what his strategy, and we talked really very little about his activities on eToro. We just had like a simple dinner, or basically a snack, and that was it. I mean, we just had a very amicable evening. Shared some experiences. Talked about Dominican Republic, what's going on, what are the business opportunities, what he's engaged in, what how I look at the world, and that was basically it. And I think I don't, again, I haven't gone and researched what he's doing on his PI side on eToro. And in a way, I don't think that associating with someone who is in a certain way is an endorsement of that. I certainly do not endorse any kind of non-ethical activities. And again, like I said, I have no idea what's the controversy there, but I had people comment
let's
like,
leave
"Oh,
it then."
yeah."
Yeah. Tell us instead about Dominican Republic. What did you get up to there?
Oh wow. Well, I remember just first driving in. I took a public bus and driving into the city, into Santo Domingo, which is like a very, very big city, a very large city, like 13 million, if I'm not mistaken, or 10. It depends. Like different people will give you, flesh out a different number. But I was overwhelmed with just the intense energy of the life in the streets. There's so much going on. There's so much traffic. There's so much people. There's a lot of energy, and I like those kind of places. That kind of reminds me of home in a way. this kind of creative chaos. I think it's a very interesting country. It's also very layered and nuanced. There are parts of the country which are in a way struggling economically. Then you've got the Punta Cana, which is a famous destination for all US travelers who are looking to dip their toes in the Caribbean Sea without necessarily going to the Bahamas, which I assume are more expensive, etc. So the Dominican Republic really seems to hit this very nice spot of being affordable, but still you are enjoying everything that the Caribbean offers. All the people that I met, all the locals, were more than friendly. Luckily, I know Spanish, so I was able to communicate with them. But everywhere you go, they're like, "Oh, like, how can I help you?" Everything is just so attuned to your needs and trying to maximize your comfort. So I appreciated that.
And were you staying in like simple enough places when you were there?
Yeah, I was staying in hotels, Airbnbs. I was going for the local immersion. That was sort of my point.
I can see you doing that. I can't see you in a 5-star resort having
I mean, I don't mind
cocktail.
I don't mind the 5-star resort, but yeah, that's not certain. If I have the option to meet someone local, I'd go and sleep on the floor and hang around with them rather than just enjoying. Not that there's anything wrong with enjoying, but just being distant and being in a nice flashy hotel. That's kind of not my. I don't extract any value from that.
Sure. How long have we been going for? How can you tell?
12.
Where do you see that?
I've got a timer. It's in the top right corner of the video thumbnail.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't know what else we're going to talk about. There's one question which I wanted to ask you, which is a complete non sequitur, but who cares? I mentioned earlier you seem like a very sensitive guy to me. Is there a song that you could look up on YouTube, like a video or a song that would guarantee it would bring you to tears? I don't know why I want to ask you that question.
Yeah. I mean, a few songs pop up. That's so funny. That's a great question. Well, Coldplay, Yellow. I don't know if you know about that song.
I know the song. That's walking along the beach in the rain.
Yeah, exactly. I love that song. That just as soon as it starts, it just cuts through my soul. But that's because it's related to the a certain girlfriend and a certain story. So it the lyrics are interesting, etc. And there's another one that comes to mind. It's called The Sea of Love. It's I don't know originally who did the song. It's kind of like an 60s or 50s song, but the modern version is by Robert Palmer from Led Zeppelin.
Okay, I met Robert Palmer once.
Did you?
Yeah, well, I didn't meet him, but
oh man, I gotta shake your hand.
Yeah. Well, he was in a bar, like a gastro pub in London. One time I was there with a few friends on a Sunday afternoon, going out for a little brunch, young professionals, and not Robert Palmer, Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin.
Robert Plant, exactly. I was, yeah, not Robert Palmer, Robert Plant,
and
yes.
he was at the bar with a really beautiful young woman, like not just a glamorous looking woman that you might expect to see with a heavy metaler, but just a gorgeous looking woman, and wholesome and nice clothes and really impressive. And at first I was thinking, what's that old fella doing with her? That's all wrong. She should be with somebody like me, you know? And then I realized, hold on, this is Robert
Typical.
Plant from Led Zeppelin, you know? I mean, if he doesn't deserve those kind of
The top of the tops.
life,
Yeah.
So
maybe it was his daughter.
Definitely not. Not the way he was talking to her.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, because I was watching a video the other day of Kate Bush, Wuthering Heights. And,
okay.
That really, I don't know what combination of factors there are, but I can't watch that without tearing up. It reminds me of my youth and being carefree and the family unit, and Kate Bush is incredible looking in the videos, amazing, and the song is haunting. And
yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know I don't have it in my head.
Well, I'm going to link to all of the songs mentioned.
You should maybe edit in. You should edit in these songs. Like
I'll get
maybe
copyright strikes.
Okay.
How long have we been going for now?
16.
Okay. Shall we push it to 20?
As you wish.
Tell me something else.
I'm good. I'm happy to talk to you. I mean, it's always fun. I just enjoy your sense of humor and your coolness. So it's very refreshing. So
I'm glad we added that bit on. How about your coolness? How are you coping with the markets? Without getting too technical, just emotionally.
Yeah.
How's it going?
I'm cool. I mean, it was difficult, and mostly it was difficult for me because I know that people will sort of, it's their hard-earned money, and when the portfolio dips, and I was very aggressive on the growth side, and obviously this aggressiveness has a price. I personally, although I'm heavily invested, I've got just shy of 100K on eToro of my own money, which dipped 30% in the drawdown. So it's a substantial amount, for let's say in terms of average people, average situations. But I was kind of worried that just people will lose their money, close their copy, and I'm confident in the portfolio, so I'm not like worried for the long term. But obviously, it's going to take a while for things to come back to where they were, and there's a lot of different geopolitical pressures now that are sort of keeping the ball submerged. But eventually, when that clears out, when the dark clouds clear out, if they clear out, hopefully they will, I think we're going to see new highs. So I'm not worried, but again, I was bummed for the copiers that couldn't take the drawdown and quit, and some of their stop losses got triggered as well. So it was very unfortunate.
And have you had to up the regularity of your meditation? See, when I talk to people, I always think I'm editing it and it's the audio, so I'll just say it again. But I'm trying not to edit these videos, so I probably will leave that in. Have you upped your meditation frequency or duration? You're a big meditator.
I love your questions. I do find myself sort of meditating more often, but I think that's sort of just making sure that in these uncertain times, I don't do any foolish, crazy mistakes. And the way that I sort of sometimes approach it, although meditation has many different sort of goals. So one of these goals is, for me at least, that, it's kind of a processing thing. So I read a lot, I'm researching a lot, I'm listening to what's going on, to all the macro pundits, following, I got a bunch of apps where I'm following CNBC, Bloomberg, watching all the videos, ingesting all the content, just to understand what really, trying to figure out the signal within the noise. And then, I sort of resort to meditation to really settle down all that info and to sort of generate some insights and to try to understand, okay, what is true, what is not true, what is likely to happen, what is not likely to happen. So that's the way I, let's say, use it in this particular case when it comes to decision making.
And do you want to share with us where you live? Not where you live, but the nature of your home in England on that sort of front?
Yeah, well, I was based for a long time in a sort of let's say it was a practicing center, or you can even call it in a way a monastery. I mean, it is a monastery, but I tend to move a lot. Like it's not just one place. I tend to I have friends. I sometimes would stay in a house share. Had also a girlfriend in London, so it changes.
Yeah, the only other thing I wanted to bring up with you was I don't know if you heard, I did like a musical rendition of season 1. Have you heard that?
No.
And I took the clips of people saying their names and also saying, "Do you copy?" and Copytraders Club.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
And I put it all together to music. You can check it out on YouTube after this. But my son, who's 7, was listening to it. He'd come in when I'm messing about with it, and I'd say, "What do you think of this bit?" And I did a list of everyone I've ever interviewed saying their name, all the PIs, one by one in order. And he thought this was hilarious. And one voice stood out to him, so much so that we're in the supermarket, like, sorting through the courgettes. And the next thing he goes, "GasperSopi," out of nowhere. So your name was getting a mention in a very strange
I love it. Yeah, I wonder why it struck a chord with him, but
it was something
it's
to
an
do
odd
with
name.
Not just the name, but also the delivery. Like some of the names were very flatly delivered. Felix Felix.
Okay.
Robert Merck. And for some reason you were like, "GasperSopi." And it caught his attention.
Yeah, it's almost like a question. Cool.
So your name is ringing out in the supermarkets of
yeah
Asia.
I hope your kid doesn't end up having traumas later in life.